be talking about entrepreneurship in Niger's the Delta State today. But you know what? If you're not going to be working hard, it doesn't matter how much money they pump into you, it's not going to work. Rule number 1, hard work. Rule number 2, hard work. Rule number 3, hard work. That is from the principles and from the book, the center page of Hard Work series, where hard work pays off. Alright, let's go for the transport updates, and then we come to the weather and we'll push on because we are behind our time. So thank you. We'll bring you more music later. Today the transport update, that's in reference to those of you in London and in the UK, but let's go to the London updates first. For those of you who use the tubes, we have part closures on Circle District, DLR, that Dockland Railway. We have severe delays. London Underground, London Overground, we have part suspended. Metropolitan, minor delays. Bakerloo Central, Hammersmith, Jubilee, Northern Piccadilly, Victoria, TFL, Rail, Tram, all in good services. That's for those of you who use the train a lot. We do have East Acton Station that is closed. Embankment Station is also closed. Balham, there's a bit of problem over there. Bank, also a little bit of information over there. Bond Street. But you know what? Check before you move. Let's come to the buses. The buses all seems to be running quite good, except the minor roadworks that come intermittently. We do not have any major things to report on the buses. We do have A1, A12, A4, A41, and then Central London Red routes, South Circular, also that the South Circular for those of you who use it from Woolwich area all the way down to Kingston and all those areas. We do have a bit of closures on there. So A1, A12, A4, A41, we do have a bit of part closures over there. So please check before you move. Check before you move. For all the others, A10, A13, A2, A20, and all the others, we do not have any major incident to report on the river bus. Apart from Woolwich Ferry, where we have reduced services, city cruises RBA1, RB2, RB4, RB6, and then Thames River services are in good service. And then let's go for those of you who like the cable, Emirates Cable Airline, we can report in good service. And when we come to the nation, the National Rail, cross country special service, Great Western Railway, minor delays. Then when we come to Eastern Southern Thames Link, we do have special services over there as well. All the others from Avanti West Coast, C2C, Chiltern, all the way to London Northeastern, all of them are in good service. That brings us to the end of our transport update. Let's quickly go to our weather update. Let's quickly go to our weather update to see what is happening over there. And this is reference to those of you in the UK. Yesterday we had a lot of rains, well, heavy and thundering showers again for many this afternoon. A drier day tomorrow with sunny spells. So that is why we're going to be having. This afternoon. We will see sunny spells. We'll scatter showers for most. The showers will fall heavy at times, particularly in parts of Scotland, with the risks of hail and thunder. That's in Scotland. Tonight we're going to be having many areas. We'll see showers linger. However, they will ease in the northern Ireland, leaving late sunshine, turning largely dry overnight. You know, one thing I love about British weather is that whichever way you look, whatever you think of, you hear the sound the cloudy weather, the rains, and everything will be mentioned in each and every weather update that we bring your way. So that ends our quote for the day, our transport update, and our weather update. We're going to go global trotting in a minute, but again, you know what? Let's pave the way for our tomorrow to be greater, and we'll be right back with the global trotting in the next minute.
Daddy cannot reach to you. His eyes in the blind. He cannot see your teeth. His ears are not deaf. Daddy cannot hear you cry. Your tomorrow must be greater than today. Your tomorrow must be greater than today.
Right, welcome back. Let's now proceed with our news items. We're going to go global trotting in 1 minute. I'm going to start from Africa, and then Ola will be joining us pretty shortly, where we'll have a look at what is happening, developments in Nigeria. And then we'll come back to the UK, cross over to EU America, and land back in Africa, and we'll finally bring our program to a close in Ghana before Her Royal Highness Linda Pellion joins us for the Career 101 update. Let's start from Africa. UN says 90,000 affected by flooding in South Sudan, and that again we'll be talking about it because we've just heard a report that has been launched by the UN talking about climate change. I'm going to be asking a few questions. We know we contribute to climate change, we contribute to whatever is happening, but what do we do? I mean, those are the questions. The report has been unveiled. Yes, a lot of people are saying it offered nothing new, but it gave us more details into the sense of urgency, but as to the practical solution, what needs to be done, nothing new from what we know already. So basically, what are we doing? What are we going to do? And would it be fair to say that the aggressive measures that are being taken by the West, and some of them, it's fair to say, in fighting climate change. Should we adopt it as Nigerians? Should we adopt that in Ghana? Should we adopt that in Somalia? Someone will argue, no, these rules were not in place when they were pursuing their developmental goals and agendas, and therefore it can't not be right. Well, another person will chip in and say, you know what? The methods, the scientific knowledge that abounds then cannot be compared to what is today. We got a throne of a huge, bank of knowledge, which means that we can afford to work smarter, we can afford to work better, and we can afford to implement things better than they had. So what do we do? Well, that's a question that we are going to be looking at. Now, foreign minister meet to mend Kenya's Somalia ties. That has been a frosty relationship for some time now, but we will go back to that. Nigerian Jewish leader arrested with Israelis freed. Okay, we'll come to that to find exactly what is happening. Journalists killed in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Africa's golden moment from Tokyo. We will examine Africa participation in Tokyo and look at whether we had a potential to do more, whether we're underperforming, whether we are punching below our belt. We will have a look at that as well. Neighbors meet over fresh tension in South Sudan. We also look at a Turkish man linked to Kenya deputy leader set for court. So we know again there's a frosty relationship between Kenyatta and his deputy. Has it got to do with this Turkish man? We will go into it, and details becoming. Swiss nationals kidnapped in Nigeria. Swiss nationals kidnapped in Nigeria, and we are going to be looking at that again. Header farmer clashes killed 22 in Chad. So it's not only Nigeria again. We have these Fulani herders that have clashed with farmers in Chad, and that has taken the life of 22 people. Zambia hit by major power cut. Ghana, we call it doomsday. So those are the headlines that are coming from Africa. We will go to elsewhere and then bring you the headlines again, and then we should be expecting Olami to join us momentarily. Anytime from now he should be joining us. Okay, let's go to climate change. IPCC reports is code red for humanity. Code red for humanity.
Pretty shortly. Greece fire really storm. Greece fire really storm. We'll be looking at that. All has to do with climate. It has impact with climate as well. I do have our brother Olaiwe who has also joined us. Yes, Olaiwe has joined us from our North London studio. Let's see if we can get it. Yumi, how are you?
Good morning to you, Frank. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the globe, and welcome to Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London, and the time is exactly 7 minutes past. And I say good morning, the 9th of August 2021, and I say welcome again to Star Radio UK.
How was your weekend?
Well, the weekend tends to go very fast. That's one thing about weekend. I can remember I was saying to you on Friday, have a very good weekend. And here we go, back again on Monday morning, just like what we do, global trotting, giving the news to all our viewers from around the world. I'm doing very well, and it's good to be back again. Good morning to you, all our other presenters. Good morning to Archie. And just I was listening to you, the climate, is Africa truly ready when it comes to climate, especially when there's less development in Africa?
That's a question we have to be looking at today. How are we going to manage it? How are we going to increase this climate change and all that is being talked about, spoken about? And to what extent are we getting ready for it? What are we going to be doing? We cannot ignore it totally, but what do we do? Are we going to move at our own pace, or are we going to move with the rest of the world? That is what we're going to do. Olave, Money, your take on the report has just been on before we go to other issues. What is
Well, I mean, I was following that report as well. But one thing is about when it comes to climate change, the big player tends to have had a lot of opportunity, even though it's having a big toll on them as well. And I hope you can hear me back in the studio, okay? Because it
yes,
seems to be.
loud and
Yeah. So it's sometimes quite a little bit worrying that most African countries would feel the pinch because we have not been developed as we would have loved to. So that means anyone from Nigeria, Sudan, Cameroon, Uganda would continue to ask whether we have the means, especially when we are still trying to develop and make life very beautiful, as you might want to call it, but also the impact of some of the the few things when it comes to climate is are we going to allow that to stop our own development, or do we go with our own ways of doing things? Um, these are big questions, and you're looking at those numbers that they're giving out there when it comes to the year and the years of 20 years from now. Just like you were saying, you follow the fire that is taking place from different parts as well. I would love to really follow more of that. I mean, let's give an example of the electricity in Nigeria as an example. I mean, a lot of Nigerians do not have access to good power. So what are the five takeaways? That when we look at this, IPCC 2021 climate report, and then try to look at it, with Nigeria and other African countries, then you would understand that we have a lot to do. I mean, just like you said, it is the first scientific review since 2013 when the Intergovernmental Panel on the Climate Change started its last round of assessment. We saw that some of the, like America, sometimes, I mean, I think when Trump was there, he was not really keen with some of those changes as well. But the assessment comes in groups of three. The first one outlined, the project impact of the five emission scenario, which range from global net negative and the net zero up to emission doubling by 2015. I mean, when you look at 2015 from now, we're just talking about maybe less than 30 years from now. And then the second and the third report, due to land in the early 2021, will look at how to adapt to this impact. Is Nigeria, is Ghana prepared, for this impact? Is a big question to tell somebody in Ibadan, where I was watching a motor accident that had just happened about climate change. They are more concerned about the road, which also is giving a lot of emission, but they are not thinking of it that way. They are more concerned that the government have not done more, and the accident is a poor tanker have actually lost its brake. 5 people or 6 people have been trapped under a vehicle, and I'm not sure whether they'll survive it.
Yeah, that's good observation. We wish them into for those who might have been injured, we need them speedy recovery. For those who might have lost their families, our prayers and our thoughts goes to them. But again, for this same climate issue, look at the issue of the Fulani, we link that directly because we know as we speak now the headman, the headman issue is still causing problems. We've been told now, it's been reported that 22 people are said to have died in Chad, which is bordering or neighboring country to Nigeria. Again, you look at this argument between grazing, we allow them to do anywhere they want, I mean, destroy, vegetation, or we could ranch it. Because at the end of the day, if we're talking about development, if we're talking about adopting things that will help the climate, I don't think these Fulani activities, the way they go about it, has been very sustainable. Because you cannot just be moving from one location to another, then clearing the vegetation, destroying even people's farm. And that's what. So, yes, the report is very voluminous. I think not all parties will be ones, but again, within our context, I think we need to do more. It is hard we are done methods that can improve on the environment without need you to play a part in what we do. And I think this cattle issue, the headers issue, is one classic example that we can look at. So, like, what is happening?
Well, quite a lot is happening in Nigeria, and we'll take you to those headlines, and we can start reviewing them, one at a time. It's exactly 14 minutes past, but like I always say, the best way, to listen to Star Radio UK is to auto download our apps on the Android and the iOS, and then you'll be able to listen to so much. And tonight is the reggae, with David West, so you don't want to miss that. I love to listen to that. Let's go straight to some of those headlines. No work, no pay directive. That is the federal government battles the NAD, opens attendance register to the resident doctors adamant. As I said last week, we still have, the president here in London taking treatment. But while back home, the resident doctors are putting a headlock with the federal government when it comes to the strike that have not been called off yet. PDP government met today, represent CACO's demand Secondo's resignation. Also, a group roots for Osibajo presidency list vice president quality. Also, Ogboni chief Abalit killed for money ritual. Sika shared the body part. It's not the first time that we've seen body part being shared, in Nigeria, especially, when it comes to election is coming. There's a lot of ritual that takes place. But the question is, what do we get from this ritual? Because at the end of the day, do you get joy out of it? Do you get a kind of a lock out of it? Because using somebody else's body for ritual is not something that is new in Nigeria and is still going on in the 21st century. Federal government postponed vaccination resumption indefinitely, listed 3,700 cases in the last 7 days. Also coming up from the leader of Ilana Omodua, I have not fled Nigeria, according to Professor Banji Akintoye, with a statement that was released yesterday. There was an audio, circulating yesterday that he's being looked for by the federal government of Nigeria, which I'm not sure why, the federal government of Nigeria might be looking for somebody that is demanding a total self-determination out of Nigeria in a peaceful way. He is the leader of the Ilana Omo Odua, representing millions of Nigerians, millions of Yoruba rather, that prefer to be out of Nigeria. According to the statement, the Yoruba Nation arrowhead, Professor Banji Akintoye, says he is not intimidated by the report plot of federal government to arrest him. The leader of the self-determination group, Ilana Omodua, said this in a statement yesterday titled, I am in Benin Republic with Chief Sunday Igboho, not on the run. We know that Chief Sunday Igboho, was stopped, because of the federal government warrant on him on the 20th of July. And, since then, he has been kept in Benin Republic. The court case is still ongoing. It's still something that a lot of Yorubas are focusing and asking those questions, why, the federal government is after him. Even though he won a court case in Oyo State last week, that the DSS for the next 14 days must not go near him. But the leader, an 86-year-old professor of history, was reacting to an exclusive report that the ex-Senate member of the Second Republic left Nigeria about 3 months ago when he uncovered plot by the regime of Muhammad Buhari to arrest him. But he says, no, I am not on the run. I am actually in Benin Republic, to make sure old conference and rallies to champion the cause for the succession. Igboho is still in the detention facility in the Cotonou, while Professor Banji Akintoye is there to make sure they can rally around him, to give him all the support that is needed as well. So let's go straight into another kidnap case that is coming out at this morning. It actually took place at the early hours of the morning when Niger State is waking up this morning with so many Nigerians with another kidnap. And that kidnap is the kidnap of the Commissioner for Information in Niger State that was kidnapped and no contact yet in terms of whereabouts he is. Bandits, according to the report, they call them bandits, I call them terrorists, because when you look at, a lot of Nigerians being terrorized day in, day out, these are not bandits, these are terrorists that are creating havoc. The commissioner was adopted from his hometown in Togan Town, 2 months after the adoption of the Tigina school children in Niger State, North Central. So you could see the impact of this atrocity, kidnapping that is taking place in Nigeria, and is still making a lot of, creating havoc. Muhammad Sani Idris is the Commissioner for Information in Niger State, North Central Nigeria, has been abducted by suspected terrorists. Idris was abducted from his home in Baban, Torgan Town, Tafa local government area of the state in the wee hours of Monday, August 9. According to information, the spokesman for Abubakar Bello, the governor of Niger State, confirmed the abduction, says that security forces had now begun a search and rescue operation. We hope that we'll discover him soon and rescue him unharmed. Over 100 children were adopted from an Islamia school in Tijena town in that state are yet to regain freedom. So you can see, the kind of level of atrocity, being committed by these terrorists to our average Nigerians when more than a month now, 100 school children, innocent children, have still been taken away. The president is here in London taking treatment. The vice president is nowhere to be found. The governors are nowhere to be found. And now, one of their cabinet minister or commissioner in that state have also been taken away. That shows that the Boko Haram terrorists are still very active and they are very adamant, not backing down on whatever mission that they have against an average Nigerian. It's exactly 20 minutes past 11. It's still Star Radio UK, your morning show this morning. I'm going to take two more from the business, and I'm going to come back again to you in the studio. Yes, Shell Nigeria reward 48 million naira grant to Niger Delta entrepreneur. We know Shell has been in Nigeria for a very, very long time, and yet, a lot of Nigerians would like to see, some of the dividends coming back to them. Shell Nigeria announced on Sunday that 117 young entrepreneurs from the Niger Delta who graduated its LiveWire program had now been awarded a total amount of 48 million grant to either establish or expand their businesses. The company announced this in a statement saying the total number of the beneficiaries of the Youth Enterprise Development Program had increased from about 7,900 as at 2003. And again, a very good one, but the question remains, when money is being allocated like this, does it finally get to the end user, or is this something we just read as daily in our report like this? But in the next couple of weeks and months, those Nigerians will say, we never saw a penny, and that means a rollover again. It's still Star Radio UK. I'll come back again to you in the studio.
Yeah, that's a very good submission, and the question you ended with is something that we all must be concerned with. The way that say, okay, money has been given, and then just leave it out there, or are we going to see some concrete thing being done, or the money will just basically turn into snakes in someone's pocket, or snake will swallow the money? Let's look at these students or these according people who are now taking to this entrepreneurship and being let's hope that we're getting some good result from there. And again, Africa is where someone goes for a loan, and the first thing they do is to celebrate the loan. In Ghana, for instance, our own finance minister went to a loan, and the first thing he did was to throw a KK party to celebrate the loan, which is very, that's why we do. They give you this grant. They say, well, God has blessed me. You go pay tithe on that money. You go to a party, take your friends for a drink, without knowing that some of your business, the business proposal that you make, all that calculations will get it. But let's come to the issue of this Yoruba Nation case, and we'll come to the kidnapping. We were meant to understand that the reason government went after Sunday was because he was a leader of the Yoruba Nation agitation. Why they going after this? It's the old story. A professor who is just trying to use his last days to basically impart and tell people what it is. Because he was there before Nigeria was formed. To just tell people exactly the route Nigeria is going and what he wished in his lifetime people that he represents or leads are up.
Well, Professor Banji Akintoye, like you said, is an historian, and he was also a one-time, senator during the First Republic. And from what we heard, he also at this, at about 40 years on his age, then wrote, the constitution of the political party then of the late uh, 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 Chief Obafemi Awolowo. So yes, the news filtered through yesterday, and there was a kind of a panic among a lot of Yorubas, as you can tell. Just like you said, is a 86-year-old man that believes that we need to come out of Nigeria, peacefully, and a lot of people are skeptical that because the United Nations 74 Assembly that is coming up in the next couple of weeks, which we are aware that he might be attending, or there might be a kind of a session where we might be delivering something there, might be the reason why the government is trying to now maybe locking in until that 2 weeks of the 74 United Nations Assembly that will be taking place. And I'm aware that there will also be all kind of protests as well. So let's just go back a bit of who actually is, Stephen Adebanji Akintoye, also known as S. Banji Akintoye. He was born in 1935. Is an academia, a historian, and a writer. He attended a lot of schools in Ado-Ekiti. He was, between 1951 and 1955. He studied history at the University College, Overseas College of the University of London. He was also at Ibadan in 1956 to 1961. He had a doctorate study from 1963 to 1966 at the University of Ibadan. He was awarded a PhD in history in 1966. So you can see that these are individuals that have, the back history of what we call Nigeria of today that was amalgamated in 1914, by Great Britain then. Also, he taught at the history department of Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife, where he became a professor and a director of Institute of African Studies from 1974 to 1977. He has also taught African history in the university in the United States of America, where he spent quite a lot of his time as well at the University of South Florida, Tampa. So you can see that these are individuals that have the background. Akintoye is one of the current leading scholars on the history of the Yoruba people. His most recent work, History of the Yoruba People, draws on a decade of new findings and thinkings on the Yoruba studies that challenges some of the previously dominant notions about the origins of the Yoruba. This work dispels the Middle Eastern Arabia origin. So you can see that when we have someone of his caliber, definitely is also an interest to those of the evil force that might not want him to achieve whatever intention he has for the Yoruba people. This is still Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I will return back again to you in the studio.
Right. From indicating, he's saying he's actually, from indicating he's in Benin Republic now, helping
Chief Sunday Igboho, in terms of the current court case that is taking place, with Chief Sunday Igboho right now. Yeah.
Okay, that is fair enough. But when we look at his background, we know, he has a very rich background in history. He's an Yoruba, and therefore one would expect that rightly so, he represents his people and he tries to do what he feels is needed or what his contribution. But is he one of the leaders?
He's actually the leader, not one of the leaders. He's actually the leader, that is leading, this movement of the Yoruba opting out of Nigeria, peacefully.
Okay, now if that is the case, why then were they going after Sunday?
Well, Sunday Igboho, according to the federal government, was of interest to them because they had intelligence. This is, even though, this has been debunked, by Chief Sunday Igboho himself, that he was stockpiling weapons in his house, maybe, to fight the Nigerian government. Eventually, the federal government, the DSS, went into his house, which we believe was not, according to the law of the land, something that you can't travel down at the middle of the early hours of mid-morning at about 1:30, raided his house. I was watching again some of those, bullet raid, while I was doing a program late last night, where you could see, the amount of bullet that was used in the house, you wonder whether we were in a kind of Afghanistan war. He eventually escaped that, but 12 people were taken away from his house. More than 30 something days now, we were able to get a bail for them, but they're still working on that bail process as we speak right now. And the federal government says they had intelligence that it was stockpiling. So that was the reason why, according to the government, they were after Chief Sunday Igboho. So he was putting on a wanted, which sent across the African country while he was trying to make his way to Germany, for safety. He was stopped in in Cotonou, which is now where Professor Banji Akintoye had now decided to move closer to find out, to make sure that everything is being done and coordinate while Chief Sunday Igboho is there. So you can see that the reason for federal government looking for Chief Sunday Igboho was those intelligent, but we know is because the kind of crowd it was pulling, which was about 72 hours before the mega rally of Lagos State, they just had to stop him.
Wow. Anyway, let's go to another point. We talk about ritual magic and the chief. I mean, more on that story.
Well, let's go back to the ritual case. Just like you said, it's not the first time that we are seeing ritual cases of body part. Body part is being sold, either closed market or not in Nigeria. But the question is, for how long, do we continue, allowing that to happen, especially in the 21st century? So I'm going to go straight into that report, to look at it a little bit further. Once again, if you've joined us now, you are actually watching Star Radio UK, the morning show that comes to you every Monday to Friday with myself, Archie Frank, and some of our other guests as well. So the story goes like this. According to an Ogboni court chief based in Ikirun in Osun State. I was looking at Osun State yesterday, which is quite interesting. Osun State is about 3 million, in terms of the population, and we were trying to compare that to Cyprus, where I'm sure Linda had, will be speaking to us very soon. And you could see that, one of my caller on the show last night says his mother that worked as a teacher for over 35 years is not getting a pension. So he has to kick in to make sure that the mother is being taken care of. But let's come back to the actual story that we're discussing here. This Osun State, Ifadare Afolabi and his friend Ifasheun Afolabi, a herbalist, have been arrested for alleged conspiring to kill a 35-year-old man, Ayuade Fasheyi, and using his body part for ritual purposes. Ifadare, who explained that the disease was a client of Ifasheun and had approached the herbalist, for money ritual, blame his action, just as usual, strange spirit.
Wow. Let me say that money with the cases and issue of money ritual is not limited to Nigeria. Across the whole of Africa, people believe that some people say they believe that to make money is to sacrifice, not to wear hard. And maybe those who want to wear hard, they still believe that they use the sacrifice as the actual power behind whatever money they make, without thinking that whatever they are doing, the person they want to sacrifice also a human being that they do their own life. Anyway, I just hope that the police will be able to establish the true or get the true evidence and then prosecute these people if it's found that they are guilty of whatever they are kept doing, which is you can't decide to talk of the father to cheat. That is very, very serious enough. Let's link this to the headsman story. What is happening in Chad and those that are happening in Nigeria? What is it?
Well, when you look at the killings in Chad and the atrocity of the headsmen, it's not the first time that we talk about it. We've discussed it so many times. But what is the way out? What is the solution? How do you stop the movement of some of these cattle rearers from not just Chad, from neighboring country into what we call a very porous border like Nigeria? I mean, you can literally walk if you know your way out around some of these thick forests, and sometimes you wonder, they're not moving with 1 or 2 cows, they're moving with 1,000 cows, but yet the security operatives cannot stop them. So that means if we have people moving cows into the country, what else is coming into the country when it comes to illegal firearms and weapons? And as you can see, they had that power to take down a Nigerian aircraft, last month in July when we saw that news coming out. Even though the federal government wanted to deny it, but the evidence was just too glaring, and they just had to come out and admit it as well. So these will continue, as we know, because there is no way out yet, and that is why the more they kidnap, the more money they have, and they are using the disguise of being a cattle rearer to commit so much atrocity to so many Nigerians as we speak today.
That issue of them having weapons is something that accompanies them wherever they go. They have their own weapons, because over the weekend there was an incident in Ghana where some of these Fulanis were arrested, stopping cars and robbing them. And when they were said, but three of them tried stopping the car. The driver was free and knocked down one of them. So they arrested them, and they had sophisticated weapons.
There was a killing as well in the southwest yesterday. The video was so gruesome. We can't show those video. And again, it was an attack, by these, terrorists, within the boundary of, of the southwest. I mean, those videos popped up yesterday. It was sent to us. But like I said, that we can only hope that, especially some of our state governors, it's just about some few weeks now. We will see whether they will take to their word and ban open grazing come September 1st.
Okay, now let's come to another story that is making the headline. That the man, some of us believe has underperformed. In my view, of Osibanjo. We understand the group rules for the Osibanjo presidency. Give us insight more into that.
Yes, you're quite right. According to supporters of the Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, under the aegis of Osibanjo Grassroots Organization, yesterday upheld him to contest for the presidency come 2023. We know he's currently the Vice President of Nigeria. He was one time, working in Lagos State during one of the, the tenure of, the previous governors as well. They describe Osibanjo as a neutralizer and a stabilizer. Well, whether a lot of Nigerians will agree with him as a neutralizer, because from what I heard, a lot of Nigerians call him extra tire, because we hardly see what he does, especially with the president that he has been part of since 2015. But like I said, everyone has different views about it. Again, they believe he's a neutralizer, a stabilizer, who had provided a backbone for this president Muhammadu Buhari. Also, the members of the group says this during the second edition of Osibanjo Day, which was held in Abuja, with the theme "Run Osibanjo, Run, the Future Beacons in Abuja."
One thing that troubles me too is that we think once someone becomes the vice president, the natural successor to lead an African country. If you look at Osibanjo, personally, I've not been impressed. I've not been impressed about his attitude, because these divisions about North, South, Fulani, and other things, he comes from the southern part of Nigeria, and we've not seen him bring to bear his influence on government. When we talk of dialogue, between the factions that are happening now, he has not taken a decisive lead. But what's the media, we've not seen that, unless they are doing it behind the scenes, and we don't know, which I doubt, because I doubt some of the statements that have been made by what they call the spokesperson of Buhari and other things. We expect that at least his influence will come to bear. There wasn't a time that Buhari was not in this, and he couldn't act as a suspected threat on someone who stepped in. So if he put it water, and you are not being told that he's not coming to be a president, someone say, oh, you know what? He didn't have all the presidential power, that's why he couldn't perform. And this time, I don't believe in that story. What has been the reaction of Nigerians since they announced, or since they start pushing for it? Because normally that's what they do.
Well, the news has been filtering through. I mean, I've been getting the that news filtering through in the last couple of days. But I mean, now officially you can see that there's more push for it. And why is that? I mean, when we look at Nigeria today, let's give you how many days we are away before I say Yoruba Nation now no election in Nigeria come 2023. We are about 550 days, 13 hours, 20 minutes, 37 seconds before the next election comes up in 2023. That's if election comes up. But let's take us back, to what Osibajo himself says in September last year, when he says, and I quote, "Nigeria has crack that could lead to the breakup. Nigeria needs focused, consistent prayer to avoid breaking up from the current crack in the nation war." This was the vice president himself saying so. This is even as he made reference to the biblical story of how Nehemiah rebuilt the broken walls of Jerusalem. The vice president was represented by the secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, made that call at the church service held to commemorate Nigeria's 60th independent anniversary at the National Ecumenical Center in Abuja on Sunday. Is Nigeria crack? I'm sure a lot of Nigerians believe Nigeria is crack. That is why the Biafra are demanding a total out of Nigeria. The Middle Belt are saying the same thing, and also the Yorubas are saying the same thing. And like I said today, there's a sit down from the Biafra in the southeast as we speak today.
Yeah, and let me ask for those of you who are following us, I will say thank you very much for joining us live on Star Radio UK. But the question is, do you think the Vice President has performed enough to be able to lead the nation as Nigeria? If you're on our feet, you can basically message us. In your opinion, what do you think? Do you think the Vice President will be a good president for Nigeria? He admitted Nigeria is crack. Do you think he has a clue to bring Nigeria together? And if he has a clue, what has he not shown us a bit of what you can do? And do you think if we report our confidence in him as the next leader of Nigeria, we will have a better Nigeria? That is to you out there. Please do send us your messages, Twitter page at Star Radio, UK Star Radio. Join us also on our Facebook page. You can also email us at info@starradiouk.com. Our phone line is 0208132257. Do you think Osibanjo is actually fit or purpose and fit to be the next president of Nigeria? Olami,
let's go straight to our Twitter. What is trending on Nigeria? Tweeted this morning is 11:41. Time spent so far. Buhari is trending. I'm sure a lot of people know why Buhari trends. He's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. IPOB is trending. Kaduna is trending. Igbo is trending. Let me just touch on why Buhari is trending this morning. It does trend for different reasons. Let's see. According to Henry Shield some 15 hours ago, the body language of Buhari speaks louder against anything democratic. That is coming as well. Also, according to Sahara Reporter, ex-Imo Governor Koroche to build tuition-free Islamic University in Buhari's hometown, Daura. Okay, that is also coming there as well. Also, group threatened Buhari Attorney General Malami with a lawsuit over unapproved spending of 880 billion naira by the minister and others. So that is why Buhari is trending this morning. Let's go and see why IPOB is trending. I'm sure because maybe of the sit down at home that is currently taking place as well. This is a kind of a flood, just like we're discussing climate change as well. Also, the whole area is on a total shutdown from the video I'm watching right here. Live in Asa Road, Aba in Abia State is a complete shutdown, aka is a go zone by IPOB leadership in solidarity for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu until he's been released. We do know that there's gonna be a sit down every Monday, if I'm right, according to the IPOB, and that is why that is trending as well. This is a state of Abakaliki Calabar, ever busy expressway, empty, scanty. The people are in total compliance to the sit down at home. Could this now be another wave of a protest to shut down the economic of that particular southeast area? Time will tell as we continue to monitor that as well. Also, before we go and come back to you in the studio, just a sit-at-home order by IPOB is being observed throughout the Biafra land today, 9th of August. This is the federal road, Aba Umaya in Amakwaya in Imo State in the early hours. The whole road is completely quiet. Frank, it seems the IPOP are really taking the message in as Southeast is on a total lockdown. This is Star Radio UK, and then I'll take one more from the Ilana Omo Odua, on their Twitter feed this morning, and it says, and I quote, again, this is coming from Ilana Omo Odua. It has become a sin in Nigeria for the oppressed to cry for justice. The Fulanis and the English people are of the same ideology, the subjection, extermination, and the destruction of the indigenous people. Star Radio UK, and I'll come back to you now in the studio.
That's a very powerful one that the Fulani and English are the same. But these three, I think these two men are right, because at the end of the day, those were the same tactics that were used to subdue us. They come to your land, take whatever belongs to you, subdue you, and then impose their will and their way of life on you. And that's exactly what they've done. Olami, let me finally, what is happening with both these with Sunday?
Well, I spoke to the team on a daily basis. We're waiting, for the next court case. It's still currently being held, for his own safety, by the NE in their facility there. But until we know when the judge, you got to remember that, it's a different law and different way of operating in Benin as against other African countries. So we have to wait and see when the judge will bring that court case back again. And then, the lawyers will argue, well, he needs to be, released. Also, asylum has been applied for him. So there's a lot of process that is actually still going on the ground, but not everything we can say on air. But all I can say is to those that are friends, family, and those that are well wishers of Chief Sunday Igboho is fine. Like I say, I speak with the team on the ground on a daily basis.
And what has been the reaction of people after they heard that a government official himself has been kidnapped?
Well, it's not just about being kidnapped. A lot of people are also looking at, the case of Abba Kaira. As you can tell, that the government now is trying to do what they call the due process, before they can release him to FBI on the charges, laid on him. But they did allow that with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because he was kidnapped from Kenya. And now the same process they will have to go through should they need Chief Sunday Igboho back, even though we know Benin Republic and Nigeria do not have extradition treaty. He's a political fugitive, and he was running away for his life because his life was under threat by the federal government of Nigeria.
Then we can even argue to the extent that if they have no extradition treaty, well, they have to be what you call it, Interpol orders, which they have done, but they still have to go to that extradition. Finally, before we
don't go yet, because you still have Frank there and some of our other guests that will be joining in the due course of the program. Stay tuned to Star Radio UK. And remember, if you're sending money home, do use SendWave. Remember the code ESCOSTAR R for Radio. I'll be back again same time tomorrow at 11 o'clock. From those watching on all other platforms that we are transmitting from, I say thank you very much. Stay tuned to Star Radio UK. But for now, bye from me.
Olave will say thank you very much for those updates from Nigeria. We'll continue the news updates in-house. Olave, thank you very much. And for those of you who are following up, we say thank you.
Thank you very much, those of you that are watching. We'll be back again some other time on Star Radio UK. But make sure you tune in with me on Koiki Media when I'll be coming live on later on as well. Bye for now, and have a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching. Thank you very much, those of you on Instagram, Molly100312. Good morning to those of you as well on all other platforms as well. I'm sure if you missed our late night broadcast yesterday, please find time and try to watch that. Let me just bring this back here to those of you that are I'll probably just end the broadcast in just about a few minutes. But let me move it closer to me, and then let's show you a different screen. Okay, a different screen that you might probably see. Yeah, that's it here. So I'll be back later on to give us more updates. So make sure you tune in with myself, and likewise, Koiki Media will be giving you more update. We will continue from where we stopped late last night, sometime maybe later on today, if time permit. But the most important thing is, what have Nigeria done for you that you really want to kill yourself being in Nigeria? Nigeria has never worked for any one of us, and it is time now that we say it and tell ourselves the truth. Nigeria is a crime scene. Go and look at the news in somewhere in Ibadan where a fuel tanker has literally lost brake, 6 people trapped underneath, the vehicle there as well. Is this the way you want to continue your life? Especially those of you that are youth, let's think about it now. Join the Yoruba movement so that we can literally get out as quickly as possible out of the contraction you call Nigeria. From me, have a very good morning. Bye for now. And thank you, those of you watching on YouTube. I could spot every one of you. We'll be back later on with our normal program when I've got enough rest again. We must break the zoo. The zoo must definitely come down. No going back. Shit, oh country.